So you're already running advertising on the internet. Beautiful. And perhaps you might even be running mobile smartphone ads. And you should be. So here's the thing. There's a big difference between running advertising on the internet and running advertising on the internet effectively. And the difference is your bottom line. First of all, we, being White Rail, we don't throw out big claims like double your revenue if we don't have the data to back up what we're talking about here. So you better believe that we track everything. To start off with, there are a lot of misconceptions we find in the towing industry about what some people use as indicators of success to measure when their campaign is doing a good job. For example, some folks run around and talk about how much is your campaign per phone call? Or how much is it per month? How many calls do I get for that? Now, what I have to say may sound really wacky for a minute. None of these things matter. Here's what really does matter. ROI measurements, return on investment measurements. Based on your investment of, fill in the blank here, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, what are the following? How many of your incoming phone calls were relevant? Qualified phone calls from customers who were genuinely shopping for towing services? And what percentage of your phone calls were really bunk towing phone calls, we call them? We define bunk towing phone calls as calls that you receive that you can't make money off of. Why would you receive those in your advertising? Well, you do. Here's the worst part. Did you know that on average, most click-to-call ad campaigns in the towing industry contain an average of 30% bunk phone calls? 30% of your ad campaign literally up in smoke immediately when you pay your bill each month. Bunk phone calls include the following. They include people who are looking to track down their car that was impounded. Bunk phone calls also include people who are trying to reach your competitor, however, who accidentally saw and clicked on your ad on their smartphone instead. Wrong number. Again, poof, 30% of your ad budget goes up in flames. Bunk phone calls includes people who wanted to call your company in the first place. You literally are paying for phone calls that you should be receiving anyway. Again, poof, 30% of your ad budget goes up in flames. Bunk phone calls also include those customers that are really looking for roadside assistance, like AAA, like CAA in Canada, State Farm's Roadside Assistance, USAA, or auto brand programs like BMW, Mercedes, so on and so forth. At White Rail Media, we have developed advanced proprietary filtering systems that prevent your money from ever getting spent on most of these phone calls in the first place. In fact, our clients receive about 1/3 the number of bunk phone calls. 1/3. What we do at White Rail Media is we specialize. We specialize in towing. Towing is all that we do. And we believe in accountability. Our accountability to you, our client. And we do this with our proprietary online call monitoring system that we give you free access to so that you can monitor your quality on your phone calls by actually grading your incoming phone calls for quality so that you keep us on our toes. So what's your call conversion rate? In other words, what percentage of your phone calls turn into actual sales? The more calls you convert, the more money you make. We find that in the towing industry, most companies average roughly 25 to 50% call conversion. Some are better, some are worse, some even slightly exceed 50%. Because seriously, any ad campaign, no matter how wonderful, is only as good as your sales dispatch team. This is why we developed the industry's first dispatch sales training system that is designed specifically for the towing and roadside assistance industry. This will help you both to serve your clients and to help you to close more business than you've ever done before by teaching you and your dispatchers to sell and to close deals based on value, not the cheapest price. And it works. It works to increase your sales with the phone calls that we send you, and it works to increase the sales from every phone call that you receive, whether or not it comes from us. Not only that, the average size sale will increase as well. You will make more money from all your phone calls, period. So here's an example, okay? This is a client of ours. It's not our largest client and it's not our smallest client. These guys have about 78 trucks, and with their old pay-per-click company, they spend just under $5,000 per month. With us, they increased their spending a little bit. However, it's scalable. So to make this easy, we've rounded everything off so that we're comparing apples to apples. These prices we're going to look at, these numbers will of course vary greatly city by city. For instance, it costs more money to run a campaign, of course, in Toronto, Canada, more money than it would cost in, let's just say, Sioux Falls, Iowa. So with their old agency, they received 627 phone calls per month. White Rail Media, for that same $5,000 price, we sent them 663 phone calls per average per month. Well, with their old agency, 30% of their ad budget went up in smoke in the form of bunk tow phone calls. However, with White Rail Media, that number shrunk to less than a third that size. 91% of our clients' phone calls were qualified customers seeking to buy towing and roadside assistance at cash prices. With their old agency, they had 439 phone calls, qualified calls per month. We increased that number to 603 qualified telephone calls with our program. That's an increase of 164 qualified phone calls. I mean, look at that. They instantly increased their number of qualified calls by almost 40% just by choosing to work with White Rail Media. Again, by training their sales dispatch team to better handle and close sales calls, our client now accomplished two things. A, closed more incoming phone calls, a larger conversion rate. B, they increased the average size of their incoming phone calls from $75 per sale to $88 per sale. Their revenue increased from $10,200 to $37,664 per month from our campaign alone. And this counts the money that they made on their White Rail ad campaign, remember. It doesn't even include the rest of their phone calls that they get in. Just because they've been around forever, they made almost $30,000 more money just by working with White Rail Media. In a nutshell, double your sales revenue with White Rail Media. So even if we only double your revenue, good grief, what would that mean to your bottom line to double your revenue? You do great work. It's about time that you stopped competing for the lowest price and started selling your value and making more money. So now, give us a phone call to talk, or if you just want to get a taste of what we do, sign up for access to our mini course on the top 3 things that you can do right now to increase your sales conversion rate by 20%. Click on the link now, fill in the form, and send it on over, and we look forward to hearing from you.